Hello everyone, welcome yourselves back to the YouTube channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Scream 7. Obviously, the seventh in the series, and she just came out, so obviously spoilers ahead. Let me know down below your thoughts in the comments, and this is the character poster. Uh, it's, I don't know what to say, a lot of good, some bad, which is a typical Scream mix up. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments your thoughts. Subscribe, like, and comment down below if you enjoy the video, and we'll see more views from Scream in the future. Enjoy. So, as I said, spoilers ahead for Scream 7. I have just watched it, and initial thoughts. The film I thought was pretty good. I thought there was a lot of good to it. I thought there was the best way of saying this, number five and number six and seven, technically obviously going to be this new trilogy with Tara Carpenter and Sam Carpenter, it's the Carpenter twins, Billy Loomis's daughter, and all that jazz. And obviously behind the scenes, well, not behind the scenes, politics and all that stuff came into it, and those two no longer. Can't remember what Sam's actress was called, but Jenna Ortega dropped out, and the director of those two films dropped out. So we are here with Kevin Williamson, brilliant. The return of Matthew Lillard and the guy who plays Dewey, and Courtney Cox acting in the film, and Neve Campbell's daughter. You had obviously the twins that have been in 5 and 6, who again have survived. There was a scene in this film where six of them were in the bar. Uh, Tatum and her boyfriend left. Four of them were left in. The two side characters on the from the other side characters were in the kitchen. One got their absolute ass kicked, and then they fought for ages and died. The other one got put for a pint, the thing where you pour a pint, and you thought, oh, he might be the killer, or she might be the killer, or the boyfriend might be the killer, but then he got killed about 5 minutes later. The twins got a couple of scars, even though Ghostface was got a mad one this film, but they survived. Neve Campbell, I gotta admit, she was brilliant in this film. I think she was arguably the strongest point. Tatum was a bit forced. McKenna Grace's character and the boy she was sort of talking to, they both died. I, for me, when you're making these films, you've got to make it realistic. And when they reveal the killers at I'm not saying realistic in the sense of, there's, when they reveal the killers at the end, you sort of reflect on the film of going, how did they do that? And the two killers that were revealed were not strong enough again, were not tough enough to. When they got the mask on, there's this thing of, oh, they can take punches and get shot and do all this. The second they take the mask off, the male guy, don't even know his name, from the psycho ward, he was shot in the head straight away. But you put him in a ghost face mask, he would be shot, lives. And then the other one ended up being the Pilates instructor, the man in the pink, of the mum of the person who wanted to start the podcast and who was nerdy, and that's obviously where she got all the information. It was shit. The killers have been shit. Fifth, Amber and Randy, shit. He was a nerd. Can't remember what Amber's motive was. Number six, they were relatives of Randy. This one, it was meant to be Sam Carpenter, but obviously she dropped out. And then they utilized two people who shouldn't have even been heavily involved. It's like you knew they were gonna be heavily involved because one, they're on the poster and they don't really do much in the film. Literally nothing. Like they're always like, oh, he does a podcast about wants to know about Neve Campbell and Gail Weathers, and then you think it's him, then he dies, and you think it might be Tatum at one point because then Mark gets killed, but then doesn't die. It's the best thing about this film was the fact that Ghostface was in it. He was running that street. He was proper. The McKenna Grace death was amazing, where he just sliced her stomach and all her intestines come out. it was one of those films where it was just like that aspect was fantastic of running around the streets. He wasn't hiding, he was fighting. But the killers just aren't believable. Like you love the fact that they're in the mask and then they get revealed. It would have been better if it was Stu, but the AI aspect was really cool because you saw a scene where it was Stu, Billy Loomis's mom. I think it was Roman. His actor looks very different. I think he saw Dewey. So I think that callback in AI was really cool. Roger Jackson always does a brilliant job of the voice. The opening segment was brilliant, but I think the boyfriend died a bit way too quick. Uh, so I was sort of wondering who that was. You know, the killer at the start. Just going, why would it be any of those two when they're in a psycho ward close to where Neve, where Sydney lives? And then there's so many callbacks and references to New York and like, oh, why weren't you there? Blah 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 blah. Back and forth between Gale and Neve. Their interactions were okay in this film. It was one of those films like really good moments, really gritty fights, really cool deaths, some okay characters. Yeah, great. Like I said, great to see Neve and Courtney back, and the callbacks to 30 years ago, and thinking it's the boyfriend, like when it was Billy Loomis. But the outcome was poor. The killers were poor. Mark not dying was poor. He literally got stabbed multiple times and somehow didn't die. Um, if there is an eighth one, you sort of like you're past the point of what can they do? You're milking it. Like if this is going to be the end, let it be the end. Tatum has gone through everything. Gale and Sydney, they've got that bond now. Mark's alive. The twins are alive. They're doing whatever they're doing with working with Gale or now working by themselves. You know, it doesn't need to anymore. The opening segment was brilliant when the house was burning. That's like Randy's story done. And a lot of it was pointing towards Stu, and it ended up being the bloody Pilates mother and the Psycho Ward dude. I ran the combination just because they met in the Psycho Ward. He could do AI, and then she became obsessed with Sydney. Love how they mentioned Tatum from the first one a lot. That was really cool. But overall, a intense film with cool moments, bloody moments, some of the best type of usage of the killer. But I thought it was a very simple and straightforward film in the end, with everyone basically dying. That wasn't necessary at the point. All the kids dying. And then Tatum became the final girl, if you will. So I think overall it's going to be a 7 out of 10. And the reason why I give it so high is because there was a lot of good. I enjoyed the intense scenes, like in the coffee shop, in the school. It was very real. It was very cool. Mark's character was brilliant for the most part, and the way he fought inside the house, like it was nervy. You were like, oh. And one of my favorite bits was when two Ghostface rocked up again. You were like, wow, there's two. I mean, there's three technically. The guy who ended up getting ran over by Gale Weathers and ended up dying, the escape Psycho Ward dude. It was like, yeah, so cool in so many places, but they just don't know how to do the killers properly. Like the first film is one of the most brilliant films because it's so original, but then you make so many more and you go, number five was poor, number six was poor, number seven was poor for the killers, but there were still strong points that made these films iconic and great. And I think they should just stop. If they make Scream 8, I'll watch it just to see what happens and to see if the twins live again. But overall, the cast was decent for the most part. Neve Campbell was the standout as per. I think the twins were great and they were definitely funny. Um, but other than that, I don't think anyone else did anything special. So 7 out of 10. Let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on Scream. And if you want me to go into more depth or talk about more Scream films, I will do. As always, take care and goodbye.